Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 7. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about one step at a time. It's going to turn on the volume just a little bit because it always ended up being a little bit too high. But I think it's really powerful to take things slow. Let's do that. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to episode 7. My name is Tian, and you're watching the Lifeless show. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about one step at a time, and what it really means to take things slowly, and how not taking things slowly have ended up causing me more damage and hurting me a lot more if I would have taken one step at a time. But as stubborn and as eager and as hard-headed as I am, it's really hard to take one step at a time, and it's really hard to just take things really slow and looking at it and very ease in to whatever I'm doing and not just dive full speed into whatever I'm doing. So me going the type that I am, I usually have a all or nothing mentality. I either do it with with all the life forces I have within me, or I don't do it at all. So about 5 years ago, I got a membership at 24 Hour Fitness, and essentially, for those of you that don't know, it's a gym membership, and I got that for a 2-year commitment. So I committed myself for 2 years to work out, and I wanted to be fit in an image that wasn't really me. I wanted to be ripped. I wanted to be big, and I wanted to look good. And when I first dove into working out, I didn't really understand what working out was about. I didn't really understand what working out or with the foundation of working out. You know, people say that the term body mind, right? And we hear it so often, but for me, that word, like that meaning, didn't mean anything. It didn't register as oh, what does body mind even mean? And explore that. That wasn't even, that just flew across my head, and I totally just, you know what? Who needs all this info crap? I'm just gonna dive right into working out, and I'm gonna look buff. I'm gonna look good as long as I commit to this, and I'm gonna be pumped, you know? That didn't happen. So my first 2 years of working out, I ended up hurting my body way more than I should. I did a lot of benches because I was really insecure about my chest, and I had something that you call man breasts or man boobs, and I really hated that. I really hated having man boobs, and I felt really insecure about them, you know. And whenever I wore a t-shirt, I can see this little bump on my shirt, and I didn't feel comfortable wearing a t-shirt, and I just wore like fluffy stuff, even though it was summer. You know, I wear like a flannel or a shirt over, but not t-shirt, even though it's like really hot. But I wore like stuff to cover it. So I went into the gym with the mentality of like, man, I'm gonna pump some iron, you know. I'm gonna get muscle. I'll get to the gym and get muscle. Yes, pump iron, yeah, you know. But what I end up doing is hurting myself. I did benches, and I pushed the weight what I was supposed to be for chest bench. I end up using my shoulder muscle, and that ended up causing my shoulder a lot of pain because I have a rounded shoulder problem now by doing so, and I have a hunchback from that, and it's like a whole chain reaction, and now my back hurts. So a lot of this damage was done just because I kind of went too fast into all this, and that was just the first 2 years, and I didn't even go to the gym for 1 year. It was just a couple months throughout those 2 years, and bad investment and bad commitment. And I feel like when it comes to commitment, also taking one step at a time is a lot better than taking a 10-year commitment. You know, like the leap is so far that is almost unreachable. But rather, if I committed myself to doing something just for one day, and this reminds me of a story I've heard. A guy that was alcoholic and heavy drug abuse, and how he got off it, or get off from all the substance abuse, is that he told himself, I'm not going to use drugs today, and I'm not going to what's the other word? Yeah. I'm not going to use alcohol or drugs today. Just today. Just for today. Just a day. And by doing so, he was off of it for 10 years. And that's amazing. And I think just doing one thing at a time is the key to progress further in life in a much steadier pace. Slow and steady wins the race. You know, if you sprint, you might not know where you're going. You're going really fast, but you might not know where you're going. And I was thinking about, like, imagine if you're driving down the freeway at 200 miles per hour. Imaginary, right? We'll put the scenario on the table. There's 200 miles per hour driving down the freeway. There's no cars, obviously. And you're driving down and you're just going super fast. I mean, you're going so fast that all your concentration is on keeping the car steady. Because if we flinch a little bit, or just even take our eyes off the road, we might crash. So we're going really fast on the freeway. So a lot of our focus is on keeping the car steady. Versus if we drive down the freeway 10 miles per hour, 20, or even 30. Now we can all of a sudden read the signs, and we can see where we are. We can see kind of like where, which direction we're going. There's the east, and here's the west, and here's the north. Like, oh, I kind of know where I am. Oh, which street is this? Baltimore Street. Oh, okay. I know where that is. What, Grasshopper Southwest? Okay. I know that's over there. Okay, so you kind of slowly figure out where you are from I was gonna say geometrically, but like from a location wise, like GPS wise, you can kind of pinpoint yourself in a sense of where you are by moving slow, because we can focus on other things than just trying to maintain the car in a steady pace. So same thing with me working out. I was diving balls deep into working out that I forgot about all the essentials. I forgot about warming up. I forgot about the movements. I forgot about the form. All I cared about was to lift that weight. And I sure did lift that weight. Not correctly. I lifted a weight, but it didn't do much. For 4 years I did that. Nothing. But mistakes were made. And mistakes were learned, and mistakes were self-taught. So now for the rest of my life, I'm never gonna dive into anything that's too fast, because I know that I have a tendency of doing so, and I feel like in today's world, everything is going extremely fast, and it's really hard to take it slow. I mean, just to challenge, just to kind of prove the point. Like how difficult is it to just stand in line and just do nothing? You always got to be something, by just standing in line and just stand there and just be in the environment, or even be around other people, be around other friends and not talk. And it's sometimes people have the tendency of just always having to talk, but that's not the case. I mean, like, it's kind of difficult to just be quiet around another person and not having to talk, and not feeling the feeling of having to talk. So slowing things down is getting a lot more difficult, I feel like, because things are just moving way too fast. And everything we want it to be faster. Delivery, Amazon Prime, 2 days. Upgrade to 1 day delivery, $40, I'll do it because I want it tomorrow. And it's just, wait a second, where are we going with this? Where are we going? And I feel like in my life, the people that's in my life, I feel like the constantly pressure of just moving fast, moving up in life, doing something, make money, move up in life, do stuff. But then at the same time, what am I doing? Am I trying to survive? That's not the case. Then why do I always feel this rush of always having to feel like I gotta build an airplane and fly off this earth or something? You know, that's the feeling, just always constant rush. So a little bit back to the point of one step at a time. I feel like by doing so, it allows us to be much more clear and confident in the direction that we're moving. And what I mean with this is, if we have a goal, like New oh boy, we're talking about it, New Year's resolution, right? This year, I'm gonna lose weight. This year, I'm gonna stop smoking. This year, I'm gonna stop drinking. This year, I'm gonna learn how to sing. This year, I'm gonna learn how to play the guitar. No, just because it's New Year's resolution doesn't mean that everything is new. But taking one thing at a time. So I mean, like, when learning about anything, you know, like, understand it first before do it. Is the key. And when it comes to goal, telling myself that I want to do something for 10 years straight sounds, just by thinking about it, I wouldn't do it. But if I told myself, do this for 1 week, you know, it's kind of scratches my shoulder a little bit. But if I said, do this for 1 day, hell yeah, I can do that for 1 day. What the heck? Do that for 2 days. Hell yeah, I can do that for 2 days. 3 days. Okay, stop. No, I'm just kidding. So 3 days. So the point is that just taking one day at a time. You know, like, it gets overwhelming just by thinking about, in 2 years I gotta get a new car. In 3 years I'm buying this house. In 4 years I gotta be living in this mountain view home. I want to have this much money. I want to have this kind of car. I want to have this kind of life. I want to have a yacht. I want to drink champagne while the sunset is going down. I want to have babes around me, and I want to have fireworks every night here and then whenever I want. You know, so. Just chill. You know, where are you going? One step at a time. You know, even if you learn how to do archery, if you instantly try to do like a backflip into shooting archer up in the air and somehow land on the mark or the bullseye, that's not gonna happen. And when we first start learning of how to do backflip, we don't do that backflip of buildings or 2 feet tall structures, 2 feet tall walls or something, or 4 or 5, you know, we're gonna break our neck. But rather start off with just, understanding what the backflip is like, understand, the backflip kind of has this movement and stuff. So the point I'm trying to make is that, or trying to convey here, is that taking one step at a time, I feel like it's much more superior to go really fast. The occasion that going fast is beneficial is knowing exactly what we're doing and going fast at one step at a time. Not skipping steps, but one step at a time. Just like any babies in this world, they always start with crawling, then walking, then running, then flying, then driving, then diving, then skydiving, and so on and so forth. So starting off learning the basics and learning the foundation builds a platform where we can move forward from there. So if I were to drive down the freeway really fast, I wouldn't be able to know where I'm going. But if I drove slow, I could kind of figure out where I'm going, and thus allows me to progress further and with a more sense of clarity. Because if I drove 200 miles per hour from state to state, yes, I made it to state, but what did I get out of it? Versus if I drove really slow and I figured out what this state had, and they kind of, I know this state had that. You can kind of drive to like a scenic drive. You can drive to different spots and enjoy the view and see different things that I wouldn't be able to see if I drove really fast. So let's recap this video, this podcast, just briefly, because I kind of covered a lot of different topics, different scenarios, and different aspect of moving, taking one step at a time. And what I mean with taking one step at a time is that, or what I firmly believe is taking one step at a time allows us to move further in life. And the reason why I say that is because most of my time when I went really fast into something, I always end up injuring myself, hurting myself, or hurting others for that matter, because I was just irrational and didn't really think about it, or wasn't really thrilled with the decision or thrilled with whatever I was doing. An example I was talking about is working out. I worked out for 4 years and I tried to do bench, and that ended up hurting my shoulder because I didn't do it right. I didn't learn the steps by steps and the foundation of how to bench and what it means to bench and which muscle it works out when you do bench. I guarantee you it's not the shoulder, it's supposed to be the chest. Parts of the shoulder might be involved, but mainly the chest. But for my case, it was all my shoulder, not a lot of chest. The one point I wanted to end this with is that, what I kind of talked about in the video, but I also want to bring it back to the end of the video, is that driving down the freeway at 200 miles per hour, we'll be missing a lot of the street signs, the exits, and might not be able to focus on things that are on the road, but versus we have to be so focused on the road and keeping the car so steady, because if you flinch a little bit, the car would fly off the road and will end. But versus if you drive down the road really slow, like 10 miles per hour, we can start to figure out where we are. We can look at a street sign, we can look at the road, we can see what's going on, we can kind of collect the information and see like, that path has a lot of blood in it, maybe we shouldn't take that path, or this path has, look at that, I see a little gold coin, maybe something is there, look over there, there's flowers, so slowly but surely we figure things out, and we kind of know where we are, we know where we are on the map, north, south, west, to kind of figure things out. So driving slowly allows us to have a sense of clarity, moving in life, a sense of clarity, and a sense of I feel like it allows us to see where we're going, versus if you just sprint, we just focus too much on sprinting and not where we're going. And that will be guess I don't want to end the video, but that'll be it for episode 7. And thank you guys for tuning in, thank you guys for watching, and once again, I'm Tian and you're watching The Lifeless Show. Until next time.